You're watching the Coaches Roundtable on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and welcome our guest, the voice of Pittsburgh sports for nearly half a century, Bill Hillgrove, the voice of the Steelers in Pitt football and basketball. Bill, 78, and you're still going strong, buddy.
Well, it's only a number, Ed. And, I plan to keep doing it as long as two things happen. Number one, it's fun. And more importantly, number two, the guy upstairs winks at me.
Well, Bill, let's obviously the topic at hand. Patriots 33 and the Steelers 3. The Steelers now 0-6 against Brady and Foxborough, and I didn't see this coming, Bill. I'm sure you didn't. And New England with a rebuilt offensive line, no Gronk, no David Andrews, a rookie left tackle, and then their star linebacker Kyle Van Noy. He's not there because his wife's having a baby, and the Patriots come out with great intensity, and the Steelers didn't match it, Bill.
No, they didn't. And, Mike Tomlin talked about it today at his news conference, and I agree with him. They had a poor game plan for short yardage, and it was poorly executed. And in the National Football League, when those two things happen, you have problems. I was disappointed. They had a 3rd and 1 in the second quarter, another 3rd and 1, and then they had the most important 3rd and goal at the 1, and they failed all 3 times. To me, Ed, that's not Steelers football.
I think, Bill, 2 for 9 on third down situations and 0 for 4 in a short yardage. It just didn't seem like the Steelers seemed like they were lost in schematic-wise.
Well, I believe me, I don't get into schematics because I don't think I know enough to go there. But I think I see what I can see in execution. And, in the National Football League, sooner or later, you have to knock somebody off the ball. And we didn't do that. And as a result, in all the other areas, we came up less than confident. And okay, you can talk about the defense, but I remember at halftime Mike Tomlin telling Michelle Tafoya, and then Missy Matthews echoed it on our network, that he said, I'm not worried about the defense. I want to see this offense come alive. Well, we did at the start of that third quarter, but then we get down to the goal line, settle for a field goal, and 4 plays later, Brady's in the end zone. And that, to me, that's a microcosm of what went on.
Bill, you hit the nail on the head that the Steelers in the trenches, they weren't physical enough with New England. And then the offense for the Steelers never helped the defense in keeping Brady off the field.
Exactly, and that's what you have to do. Keep Brady off the field, and we didn't do it. And, we have some new parts on defense, and that was the first game. And communication apparently was part of the problem. But I echo the thoughts of Tunch, and I trust his judgment. Now, he played the game at a different time. It was a different game. But basically, the game of football doesn't change. You have to block and tackle to win. And he'd like to see more regulars playing in the preseason. Whether that's going to change or not, I don't know.
I would agree with you 100%. Bill, I think it's one of the few times in watching Ben that he appeared to be confused out there. There was no rhythm. Whatever Belichick was throwing at him defensively, it just seemed like Ben never caught on to it.
We had trouble with the 6-man front because they'd either, drop 2, bring all 6, and we just never adjusted to what they were doing with that 6-man front, and I think that was part of the problem. But I know Ben, and I've seen him for 16 years, and I've seen no other Steelers for 16 years. He's the only one that ever got a 16 next to his name. I see him bouncing back, and he's always done it. After a subpar performance, Ben, gets it together and comes back with a vengeance, and I see that Sunday.
Well, it's a big game Sunday with Seattle. certainly you hope that what happened in New England is not going to hang over and linger with them when they go out against a very good defensive team in Seattle.
Oh yes, they are, and Pete Carroll always comes up with wrinkles that give you problems. But it all starts with running the football, and it astounded some people that Rosie Nix had no offensive snaps, but then it turns out that he nicked a knee, and he's dealing with that, and so now we have to find a lead blocker. And can we talk Dan Kreider into coming out of retirement, or Tim Lester? Probably not. So I think you're probably going to see Vance McDonald in the backfield, Sean.
Hey, Bill, I'm going to throw out one name to you. I just want to get your response, Antonio Brown, about the whole situation.
The drama is elsewhere. And Mike Tomlin pretty much said that after the game. They asked him an Antonio Brown question. He said, we moved on from that in March. And that's somebody else's problem. We heard rumors that he was in Robert Kraft's box, but NBC never showed it. So, what can I say? Let him be somebody else's problem. I see that he's changed his haircut. Is that a sign that he's going to change? Ed, I'm a firm believer that leopards don't change their spots.
Well, he's going to have a short leash up there, and a lot of people are comparing it to the Randy Moss situation, that maybe he's going to adjust and given a chance to win a Super Bowl ring, and that'll have some influence on his behavior. But that's a wait-and-see situation for sure.
What he did to Oakland is criminal.
It is. I think that was all orchestrated, Bill, because he saw the situation there and said, this is not where I want to be, and he got his way.
Shame on the league for letting it happen.
Bill, let's move on to the Pitt and Penn State, the 100th meeting this Saturday. Pitt 20-10 over Ohio University at number 13 Penn State 2-0, and the Nittany Lions a 17-point favorite. Last year, Penn State 51, Pitt 6. So the Panthers and Coach Narduzzi, Bill, they have a lot to prove in this game.
Yeah, and that one last year got away. We didn't have our regular holder, and so Kirk Christodoulou, our fine punter from Australia, had to be pressed into a holding situation, and that's just fed fuel on the fire. The Lions got a punt return, and shame on the Panthers for letting them go into cruise control, but it was just one of those games. I think this one has a chance to be more competitive. I saw some good things with Pitt. I saw some growth in just one game. And I've always said, Ed, and I believe it, upper echelon MAC teams, if you don't play well, will beat you. And here are the Bobcats picked to win that conference. They came in with, some fire, and they had determination, and they were dogged and well coached by Frank Solich. But I saw growth in the Panthers. I saw growth in Pickett. I saw growth in the O-line. I saw growth on defense. And so I'm very encouraged by where this team's arrow is. It's pointed up.
I would agree with you. The defense seems much improved from last year. It seems that defense is a lot faster. Pickett, a very good game against Ohio University. What concerns me, Bill, can they run the ball on the Nittany Lions?
Well, that's going to be. The Lions are stout. And as Narduzzi said at his news conference yesterday, their front seven's good as anybody in football. So that'll be the test. But I was encouraged by Pitt's ability to run the clock out for 7 minutes and secure that 10-point win. That's not easy to do. When the other team knows you're going to run the ball, it makes it tougher. But I saw a resolve. I saw A.J. Davis. I saw Vincent Carter, a freshman we hadn't seen very much. And I saw that O-line kind of coming together and knocking Ohio off the ball. And I think that was the reason they were able to sustain that win.
Hey, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong here as we close. If Pitt wants to have an 8, 9, or 10-win season, it has to start with the win over Penn State this Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty obvious. And, let's talk about the rivalry, Ed. It's going to be a sad day for me as a kid who grew up as a Pitt fan and watching Pitt-Penn State for lots and lots of years. I go back to Lenny Dawson. That's going back a few years. For it to come to a thud, an end, is a shame. As I said in the newspaper article they did in the PG the other day, It's like somebody stealing the page of Mother's Day off the calendar. But hopefully that can change in the future. I don't know that it will, but it'll be a sad moment when that game is over.
Bill, I agree with you 100%. I don't think there's any excuse for this rivalry to end. When you look at some of the teams that both of them are playing the next few years, certainly there could be movement in this rivalry could easily be renewed. But this Saturday ought to be a great one.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, and the atmosphere for the Panthers will be hostile. But I've been there before when it's been hostile, and I've seen Pitt come up with some surprise wins. Randy McMillan had the big game in '79. Even though Foge's team in '84 was on its way to a 4-8 record, they beat Penn State, as I remember, was it 31-11 or some number like that. And I think Terrell Austin had an interception in that game. So, I have fond memories. I have memories that I'd rather forget, like Carson Long missing kicks in the 7-6 loss. But then I have the memory of 1976 when Tony Dorsett and company proved that they were not only as good as Penn State, but that year better.
Hey, Bill, thanks a lot. Always good to talk to you. Good luck the rest of the season. I'll be seeing you down at Heinz.
Thanks, Ed. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
See you, Bill. I'll be right back with Al and George. I am back, joined to my right by the Swami George Abraham, to my left the Tiger Albert Campman. Everything's in full force now. High school, college, and now the pros. Let's go to high school football spotlight, top rushers. What a year. This kid's going to have 1,000 yards by the 5th game of the year. Teddy Ruffner of Mars, 327 yards, 5 touchdowns. Another kid is having a knockout season. He's going to be the all-time career, if he's not already, at knock rusher. Matt Goodland, he had 296 yards and 5 touchdowns. Cole Spencer, the quarterback for Pine Richland, rushed for 228. David Duffalo, Slip Rock High School, 181. Demetrius McKnight for Newcastle, 113. How many years has he been playing at Newcastle? Is this his fourth or 5th year?
He's going
to get a pension
this week.
Yes, they do.
YSU had him on the sideline, McKnight on the sideline this past week.
Now, huh?
Did they?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're getting good production out of the kid that's there, too. Didn't they have one that was there?
Oh, yes, McCaster.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Lindgren of Hampton, 103.
I want to say something. Do you remember the days when we used to think 120 and 100 was a good day?
Yeah,
he had a good run. These numbers are outrageous today. It's
running
so,
twice as many plays.
That's what I'm saying. It's so different.
Yeah.
And we can't talk to young people and say that to them
No.
because it sounds like sour grapes.
Yeah.
But we used to run 40 plays in a game. They run 40 plays and a half today.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
4 teams ran over 100 last week.
That's what I'm saying.
College.
And look at the passing. If your quarterback threw for 100,
it was a great day. Yes.
Something.
Yes.
Ben Hughes of Riverside, we'll see him at the end of the year when they play Elwood City there. He threw for 287. Zach Rocco, North Catholic, 268. Gabe Lawson of Seneca Valley, 211. Garrett Schaffhauser of Freeport, 164. Luke Bowser of Union AC Valley, 141. Michael Wells of Newcastle, 126. And Kalen Bender of Wilmington, 150 yards, and he threw for 3 touchdowns. Receivers, Nick Mayer, North Catholic, 7 for 107. How about Nathan Shiro, Riverside, 7 for 191 yards. Brody Woods of Freeport, 6 for 115. Caden Rainey, Union AC Valley, 5 for 94. Anthony Cerventi, North Catholic, 4 for 93. Carson Bishop of Riverside, 4 for 85. Wow, what a passing attack they have, and they have the receivers.
I'll give Coach Sharo,
Ronnie
Sharo credit that he used to run him into the ground. He figured it out. Coming back to coach again, I'll let him play a little bit.
You know what they say, you either adjust or, or you perish, right? Nathan Hyde of Slippery Rock High School, 4 for 75. Ethan Wood, Seneca Valley, 2 for 106. And Junior McConaughey of Wilmington, 5 for 84. Boys, top golf scores, Ryan Bardos of Seneca Valley at 34. Excuse me, Todd Hangleiter, Seneca Valley, at 35. Braden Setnar of Butler at 38. Nolan Nichols of Seneca Valley at 36 and a 39. Blake Bartolo of Mars at 39. Adam Steinmetz of North Allegheny at 39. For the girls, Victoria Witkowski at 38. And Paige Scott of Butler at 39. Their Tornado golf team, the ladies are 7 and 1. Boys soccer, Jake Kearney, North Catholic, 3 goals. Dakota King of Karn City, 3. Owen Colwell of Karn City, 3. And for the girls, what an all-around athlete we have here in Sydney Shemansky of Freeport. She had 3 goals, soccer, basketball, and track. Girls volleyball, I never heard of this before. Maddie Clark of Freeport, she had 45 assists.
A lot of kills, too.
Alexis Prementine, Slippery Rock High School, 15 kills. Dominique Loga Union, 14 kills. Hannah Roanoke, 13 kills. Ava Carney of Butler, 13 kills. And Tiffany Madison of Slippery Rock High School, 13 kills. And how about this? Volleyball tournament play at Upper St. Clair. 2A North Catholic defeated North Allegheny in the semifinals.
Wow.
And then beat Cannon Mac for the championship. So North Catholics are number 1 team in 2A. Freeport is second. Knock is number 1 in 3A. And NA is number 1 in 4A.
How good does North Catholic have to be?
Must be pretty good
Jeez.
to beat him.
Dominating.
Both. If you're beating North Allegheny, Knock,
Yes.
you can play.
And next week we're going
Mac.
on the 19th.
Yeah.
We're going to be at Seneca Valley for their
Yeah.
match against North Allegheny, and then later we'll be at Knock for their match
That's
with
awesome.
Mars.
I tell you guys, the skill level of that girls' volleyball is impressive.
Yeah, George,
I always
you're not
say-
easy. You're
no,
not easy.
I don't know.
you're
I don't like
easily-
women's sports. You got to sell me.
Yes.
They've sold me. Same with softball. I just love it.
Right.
Let's go to our power rankings in 6A. Pine Richland, number 1, followed by North Allegheny, Central Catholic, Mount Lebanon, and Seneca Valley. In 5A, Peters Township, Penn Trafford, North Hills, Gateway, and Penn Hills. In 4A, Thomas Jefferson, and number 2 is Knock, South Fayette, Newcastle, and West Mifflin. 3A, Aliquippa, North Catholic, Central Valley, Keystone Oaks, and Grove City. In 2A, Wilmington, Washington, Freedom, New Brighton, Southmoreland, and Avonworth. And in 1A, Laurel, Stowe Rocks, Jeanette, Springdale, and West Green. Last week, I went to Shaler to watch the North Allegheny Central Catholic game. The week before, Central won with 26 seconds left to beat Seneca Valley 10-7. We're leaving. It's 10-3 with about 5 minutes. The guy says NA can't move the ball. Boom. There's a punt return, 60-some yards for the winning touchdown. They went for 2, and 11-10 win.
Well, that is one of our check marks we talk about every year. A 3. I'm telling you again, don't kick the ball to the best player on the field. If you got a 10-3 lead, Eddie, where do you kick the ball? Out of bounds and you go home a winner.
Late in the game.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't the assistant coaches grab the head coach and say, listen, coach, do not let him kick the ball in bounds.
And what's worse, the end of the half. 23 seconds left in the half. All you have to do is punt it out of bounds, play defense for one play, and go back in. They punt it to the dude, and he runs it back.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm thinking, like, what was the only way
Only
you
way.
could lose this game?
Yes, it's amazing. It drives me nuts.
Cost Pitt, a Big East championship. They're playing Cincinnati
I remember
for the
that.
championship.
Yes, you're right.
They're winning 30-6
Yes.
with 20 seconds to go in the half, and they kick it to the fastest guy in the
Yes.
field. Boom, 95 yards, and the game changed.
Why
One
is-
thing for sure.
Why is he back there?
22 players on every field.
Yeah, why is he
If there's 22, the fastest guy
back there?
is the guy's back there.
You either squib it or
Yeah, no, kick it out of bounds. Kick it 10 yards if you have to,
What's the
but don't
difference?
kick it to him.
I see dumb stuff. More dumb stuff from football. Well, I think the basketball coaches use the clock better. I was like, end of the game. Instead of squibbing that thing and making them take some time to fall on it
Right.
or run it, they sail it deep and the clock doesn't
Never
start.
starts. I know.
And I'm like, what were you thinking?
Top games this week, 6A, number 5, Seneca Valley at number 4, Mount Lebanon. In 5A, Mars at number 5, Penn Hills. 3A, number 3, Central Valley at number 2, North Catholic. I think this is the game of the week.
That is.
And in 2A, number 5, Avonworth at number 4, New Brighton. And in 1A, 3-0, California at number 1, Laurel. And we will be at Karn City. The Gremlins 2-1, taking on their neighborhood rivals, Montauk. Montauk looking for the first win of the year. We'll be there to cover the game, and you'll see it next week on Tape Delay.
We love rivalries because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, every fan there, is saying our team's going to win it. Every player knows 10 years from now they're going to be bragging about the game to somebody. You know, that's
And
what
I
it
think
works.
Montauk's won the last 2 years.
Thanks for telling me. I didn't know that, Eddie.
I think so.
You're going to get a grudge game there. You
That's
know how
good.
they always
Call
say
it a
it.
grudge
They always say, they go, throw the records out. And everybody who doesn't participate in them thinks it's crazy. If
I
you
played-
participated in one of those games, you know. Altoona Johnstown,
Exactly.
forget the record.
Exactly. Farrell Sharon, exact same thing.
Without
Yes.
a doubt.
Our stories of the week. Well, I knew something was maybe not right when Friday I go to my mailbox and I get Sports Illustrated. Who's on the cover? Juju Smith-Schuster. Wow, there you go. We say it doesn't.
That's the curse, right?
It doesn't exist.
We've
but
put it on a few teams here, putting them in the ranking.
tell me about it.
We have.
I have coaches tell me don't rank us.
Don't pick us to win.
Well, let's start off with Yogi Berra, deja vu all over again. The Steelers now 0-6 in New England against Brady. 33-3 New England. It was like one of those Batman movies with in the background. Pow, bam,
Oh, it was.
zoom. And they just kicked the daylights out of the Steelers. To hear Tolman say, we weren't ready, I want to ask him, why were you not ready?
Yeah, like you said, we're ready for prime time. I'm just telling you that the offensively, defensively, special teams, they stunk everywhere. And one of the old timers used to tell me, you're never as bad as you look. When you're that bad, never as good as you look when you're that good. So I'm figuring the Steelers this week will come back and play really well.
You know what else I
Seattle.
thought was bad? This is never good, as you said. But I heard two different guys say today we weren't ready to play.
I don't get it.
As a coach.
That's a bad line.
As a coach. In other words,
that's a bad
if you
line.
said I was dumb, okay, I'm dumb. I'm like, okay. But, man, when you say my guys
That's a
weren't
bad
ready
line.
to play, who's that on?
That's a bad
Outplayed,
line.
out-schemed, more intensity. Listen, we know this from sports. If you don't match that other team's intensity or toughness, you lose. In football especially, it's all about the toughness.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And they had a rebuild offensive line. No star center David Andrews out. No Gronk and a rookie left tackle in Isaiah Wynn. And their star linebacker Kyle Van Noy's in the hospital with his wife having a baby. They didn't miss a beat.
No,
they didn't miss a beat.
Just a whooping. That's all you can say.
Let me ask
it was a
you
whoop
guys,
with the Lux.
real quick, forget the soap opera. As good as they are, would you want to take the chance on Brown? They're pretty good.
Yeah, they'll take a chance on him.
Worth a
They
chance.
feel that way.
And then if not, he doesn't act right.
Yes, they'll feel that way.
He's getting all of his money almost back. $19 million this year, $10 million bonus, and a second-year option at $20 million. And he's going to stay at Brady's house until he gets settled in down there. I think they're looking for the same transition with him as they have with Randy Moss.
Well, there's the answer right there.
And Brady said Randy Moss is one of the best teammates I have. To this day, Randy Moss praises Belichick and Brady.
Well,
You know what?
He got a ring.
But I'm telling you, Moss did not run. If there was a pattern over here, he didn't run out. But guess what they do every week?
Win.
They win. So no one
They win.
notices. When he didn't run out for the Raiders, they put the camera on him. Oh, they'd be ahead 31-0. They said, well, you don't have to run out.
But here's what I heard a former player say. When you go to New England, Belichick sits you down and tells you, this is your role. This is what I'm going to ask
They all do
of
that,
you.
though.
Well, I don't know that
Eddie,
they all do that.
You
but
don't
he
think all the
sticks to
coach?
it.
You think George and I didn't tell our coach? You didn't tell your coach
mind
the
me,
role?
I don't think every team does that.
I know they do.
No.
I
This is
guarantee
how
they
I'm going to use you. This is how you're going to play. Don't look for you to do. And then Gronk was on TV last week, and he said no one, absolutely no one, is treated with star player on New England so that he'll get on Brady and tell him you have to play better, just like he'll tell the
I agree.
linebacker
I
you have
believe
to
that.
play better.
I believe that.
I don't think that happens with every team.
I don't
you,
think.
do you think Tomlin says anything?
I don't know
to
about Tomlin, but I
Roethlisberger?
don't think it's any that happens. But I think Brady. But the reason he has Brady, and he calls Brady just like what was the guy at San Antonio, George Popovich.
Popovich
When you get a guy to start that says, "Coach,
Get after me.
get me, Coach," because I know my
right. It's a two-way street.
It is a two-way
So
street.
Brady's bought into it.
Yeah, no
He's
question.
bought into it.
You
Yes.
can tell him he's worse than the quarterback down in high school, and he just
Now
okay.
correct me if I'm wrong. Brady looked like he was 25, and Ben looked like he was 45. Ben was lost out there. He looked confused as to what to do. Whatever they did defensively, Hillgrove said it was a six-man front that had the Steelers confused. There
When I
was
watch
something
this, they have a
going on.
tremendous, and that's what I think Belichick's greatest strength. He can really evaluate players, and he's great personnel. And he went out and got six great defensive backs. They play all man-to-man now, so there's no confusion. I'd like to talk to him until there's no confusion. They lined up on the Steelers receivers, 1 foot from their face, and says, "Get away from us. You can't get away." So they could bring any
And
six.
he wasn't going to let them run on him. 32 yards rushing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it reminds me what he does with players is what the time on waivers Lombardi picked up Chuck Mersine. He started in the Ice Bowl game 2 weeks later, they're playing in the Super Bowl on a beautiful 85-degree
him
day,
time.
and Lombardi says, "This game's not for you.
You're not
Yeah,
playing.
exactly.
You're not playing."
Was it Donnie Anderson or something?
Donnie
He sat in
Anderson?
the ice bowl.
Yes.
Then in that game, he told Mercini, he said, "You won't be playing
Right.
today."
So the Steelers 2 for 9 on third down, 0 for 4 in short yardage. I'm still wondering, waiting, why no quarterback sneak? You could have a 42-year-old quarterback sneak, and then he always keeps a fullback on the team, Devlin, to lead through in isolation plays on a lot of short yardage stuff. I just don't know what the Steelers' thinking is on short yardage. A pitch
Yeah.
out 6 yards
Yeah,
deep.
they love to do that.
They
I
said
don't
Nix
understand
is
either.
hurt too. Nix
He
is
has
hurt.
then you get someone else ready to put in there.
Tight end or something.
I don't think anybody would be New England that night. I thought New England was so sharp.
Yeah, they were getting their
I thought they were
rings
tremendous
and-
on both
There's
offense and
something to
defense.
that.
But so many people, including myself, said they're notoriously slow starters, but they were ready.
ready that
I
night.
think they were ready because they were embarrassed in Pittsburgh last year. And you said it last week. Give their defense credit. Their last 2 games against the Rams in
Nothing,
the Super
Rams,
Bowl,
nothing.
2 field goals, no
Great
touchdown
secondary.
against 2 of the best offenses around.
They got the best
And you
second.
know they got their rings and that night too. I mean, there's a
It was all.
They're still hungry.
yeah, but they're geeked up.
Yeah.
Well, here's a report out of Cleveland that the Humane Society is charging Tennessee with abusing the dog pound, 43-30. I was watching that and I'm saying, man,
Oh, did they?
don't talk,
No, shut
don't
up.
talk.
They're at
Just
the Jets
play.
this week. They get it again.
Yeah, that is one of the things that George and I said. You just said that. We didn't talk to you. Don't talk.
No, don't.
Just play.
Play.
We got play. After the game, I thought we were gonna be ready.
Yeah.
But don't go into the game saying whatever stuff they said, and they got conked.
Barduzzi shut that pit talk down this week. That center, the one.
I like it.
The one lineman
I
was
like
running
it.
his mouth. He put the gag on.
Good.
You know,
Wait,
they're
now-
good enough down there.
Now, let me ask you something. Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
He's
what?
playing with a watch on.
$200,000 watch.
$185,000 watch. He's going to wear it again.
But that's the sad part. They put up with it.
Let me ask you, would you
You
try to
understand?
smash it?
They put it
If
on
you were
purpose.
playing,
On
would you
purpose.
try to
Oh, no,
smash
on
it?
purpose.
Without a doubt.
Where's he have to be in the first quarter?
Oh, so
They
Hey,
just
hey,
can't
quickly,
help
let's
themselves.
give
can't
give
help.
credit to the area schools. The Rock off to a great start,
Oh.
62-37 over Wayne State. Roland Rivers, they ought to play Proud Mary before the game for him.
Yeah.
405 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jermaine Wynn, wide receiver, 8 for 152, and Henry Litwin, 7 for 122. Good luck covering those two
You're not.
guys. And up next, your alma mater, the Ships
they'll
in
have
there.
to play.
I didn't like how many points Wayne State scored. Remember, I told you last year, Slippery
Same
Rock
thing.
kept going.
Guess who
because
else said
their
that?
defense was
Hey,
better.
guess who else said that? Coach Lutz.
I see.
I said, good job. He goes, RD, you got to get better.
That's true. Good job. Thanks.
Hey, how about the Wolverines? Their 8th straight
Yeah,
win,
yeah.
49-28 over Juniata quarterback Josh S. 363 yards, 4 TDs.
Good.
2 running backs, Cameron Roth with 108 and Wesley Schools with 104. Next up, Bethany at home. Westminster 66, Capital 7. An NCAA record. They returned 4 interceptions for
amazing.
touchdowns.
It is.
Next up, Waynesburg.
I like your Grove City story there. That you're the biggest guy
finally
who's
passed them.
about running.
Yeah, they finally passed Juniata. Juniata used to beat them every year.
Yeah.
Even last year. Even though the Grovers
Right.
finished on, they finally got them.
And they ran 2 guys for 100 yards.
Yeah.
See, I know they can throw the ball.
That's cool.
They ran.
They can run the ball too.
Hey,
I
that
like
school's bad news. Albert, he'll carry it 35 times.
Hey, finally, Pitt 20, Ohio University 10. The Pitt defense shut down a very good quarterback, and Nathan Rourke limited the Bobcats to 35 yards. But everyone's forgetting about that. It's 100th meeting this week. They may not play again for 10 years, 20, who knows. Number 13, Penn State, 2-0, 45-13 over Buffalo, and Penn State favored by 17.5.
I like that. I like that win over Ohio U. See, I think Ohio's one of the top teams in the
Much
MAC.
needed.
I don't think anybody realizes it. They're a pretty
Pitt's
good team.
defense is much
They're a pretty
improved.
good team. I'm going to find out more about this week, but I was more impressed with Pitt that game.
Hey, up 4
You know.
touchdowns. He threw the ball late.
He did it
Did
again.
threw 40 yards.
He did it
He wants to
again.
play them in a neutral. Where's he?
I don't know what he's
Philadelphia?
talking. Listen, the rivalry's bitter. It's become more bitter since he's been there. But we like bitter rivalries.
Yes, we
but,
do.
But let me say this: I think Pickett looks so much better. If Pitt can't run, this could get ugly. They need
I'm
to
hoping
run
Pitt's
the
defense
football.
keep in there. I'm hoping Pitt's defense.
He likes the front seven of Penn
Because
State.
Buffalo last week, 247-52
Ahead
at
of
halftime.
I
Pitt will
watched
be ahead if that happens.
Penn State's very quick.
Yeah,
I
they
watch
got
it.
speed.
They're
They
very,
got
very
speed.
quick.
They do.
Hey, we have run out of time. That's it. We will see you next week.